These steps are marked by stories that are still vivid in the walls of Castle San Felipe del Morro in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Reporter Emilio Ramos and photojournalist Tommy Weiss followed the path for a week to explore the island. And that adventure starts here in Old San Juan. As we made our way into the castle, we were welcomed by the refreshing Atlantic winds that once brought Christopher Columbus to the island. This was immediately claimed by Spain upon his arrival in 1493. A few fun facts about El Morro keep bringing thousands of visitors each month. The San Juan Bay became a strategic point to maintain power in the Caribbean. El Morro was built on the tip of San Juan to protect the city, and the 6-level fort that sits 145 feet above sea level was named in honor of Spain's King, Philip II. El Morro was occupied by the United States Army in the late 1800s, and the main mission for historians like Dennis Raymond on the fort today is to preserve the history and share the legacy.
Up to precisely the 17th century, when it was a very important part of the construction process, and it ended in the 18th century. And we have it here today, still standing, still strong. A privilege to have it here in Puerto Rico. It's precisely the biggest fort under the American flag.
This area right here is where the soldiers back in the 1700s spent most of their time. In average, they got about 3 pounds of food. The food was prepared here in El Morro. If you come back here and take a look, this was what the kitchen looked like back then.
In 1898, Puerto Rico became a part of the United States under the Treaty of Paris. And at the time, the walls that divided El Morro with the rest of the city came down to allow the population to grow outside this military fort.
Bueno, El Morro era un ente militar, era para servicio militar. Aquí lo que había eran soldados. No había, por ejemplo, familia de soldados. Era simplemente el soldado era el que vivía acá. O en tiempos de paz ni siquiera vivía acá. Se arrejuntaba o vivía, sí, lo que llamábamos arrejuntar. El soldado común y corriente que venía de España o era conscripto aquí en Puerto Rico, se arrejuntaba con alguna doña y se iban a vivir en una casita alrededor de las murallas de San Juan. Sí, así era. Venía un momento de peligro, vente, y tenían que venir a servir. Solamente cuando en época de peligro era que había soldados permanentemente viviendo dentro del castillo.
Outside of those walls, life found its path into what Puerto Rico is today. The island started to expand politically and economically. In 1952, Puerto Rico became a Commonwealth of the United States, which has been a very controversial topic in the past few years.
El Estado Libre Asociado is just a pretty name. It's like we're called a Commonwealth. It's just a pretty name. But if you look at all the characteristics, the political characteristics, we're a colony. And that's one of the things that the U.S. will hate is when they go to all these major conferences, international conferences, and they talk about their Commonwealth. You know, immediately someone will say, "No, what do you mean Commonwealth? You have a colony. It's called Puerto Rico." So that's kind of a little. That's like the hidden baby, you know, where well, we don't want to call them a colony, so we'll just call them a Commonwealth.
Democrats in the island under the Democratic Party don't support statehood. However, they think that Commonwealth known needs transformation.
Yo creo en el Estado Libre Asociado de Puerto Rico y creo en, ¿verdad? En la unión permanente con los Estados Unidos. Pero no creo que Puerto Rico deba convertirse en Estado, sino permanecer como estamos, como Estado Libre Asociado de Puerto Rico. Ciertamente los Estados libristas estamos de acuerdo y convencidos que el ELA tiene que ir transformándose y todos sabemos que hay espacio para mejorar. Pero yo creo, ¿verdad?, en la unión permanente con los Estados Unidos. Yo siento mucho orgullo de que Puerto Rico sea un Estado Libre Asociado de Puerto Rico. Cuando miramos a nuestro alrededor, todo lo que nosotros hemos logrado ha sido gracias al Estado Libre Asociado de Puerto Rico. Y sí, cuando te hablo de transformación, entiendo que el ELA tiene que transformarse un poco más para que podamos tener quizás más poderes, nosotros poder tener un poco más de autonomía fiscal. Eso se ha discutido ampliamente por los diferentes partidos políticos. Y yo creo que el gobierno de Puerto Rico debe ir moviéndose hacia eso.
Now that we've talked a little bit about history and politics, our trip takes us to the south of the island to explore Puerto Rico through the eyes of the people in the town of Salinas. And after the break, we arrive in Salinas and meet with our friend Juan.
We're basically taking a sail here around Bahía de Salinas. It's in the Bay of Salinas, Puerto Rico.
He shows us a piece of Caribbean paradise.
You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
Here we are in Salinas, Puerto Rico, a town located 45 minutes south of San Juan. There we meet with Juan Miguel Gonzalez. He owns a restaurant on the coast and runs a water transportation business on the Salinas Bay to take people to a hidden paradise you won't know about unless you are up for an adventure beyond San Juan. This is where Juan is taking us. We took off from his restaurant, Lottie's Place, and we are now making our way through the Bay of Salinas that's covered with many keys, and he is taking us to a special one where the locals go to spend the day.
Basically on the left side right now here, we have Marina de Salinas. That big wood building is the restaurant. The name is Costa Marina. It's been here around 25 years already. It's a seafood restaurant, plus they got like 40 rooms of hotel in the building that you're gonna see now. They got here a marina for like 200-300 boats. Oh man, actually the area. The area is you know, the favorite thing here is the week, actually. It's when it's not a lot of people around. So you're basically having fun in a very quiet place, because during the week, now today is a holiday, but normally it's not a lot of people around. From Monday to Thursday, you're basically here alone. Ain't nobody here but us.
Juan knows Cayo Matias like his own hand.
Actually, the key. Because this is like a key. This is a little island, but in the behind, it's a reef back here, a big reef where the Caribbean Ocean is breaking. So you're gonna see it when we go back there. You can hear the noise. You hear the noise? That's the water.
Sounds like traffic.
That's the water breaking in the island. So basically, it's not a lot of people today here, but normally you will have all this full of people, 150, 200 people here.
How does spring break it?
Oh, remember spring break, It's not huge in this part of the island because we don't have a lot of hotels in this side. You can here Salinas has a lot of local tourists from Puerto Rico, a lot of local people. Maybe you can have tourist people that come to eat in the restaurants during the week if they're staying in San Juan, but the hotel, we don't have a lot of development of hotels down here. Yeah. Basically everything is in San Juan and the west area or the east. In the south, we don't have a lot of hotels. So,
like a hidden paradise.
Yeah, it's a hidden paradise. That's what it is.
And knows future plans to expand tourism in the area will come soon. But he wants to preserve the natural beauty of paradise for people to enjoy it any time of year. Because in Puerto Rico, it's summer 365 days a year.
Our friend Juan has been so kind to take us out on the Caribbean Sea, or more precisely, the Bay of Salinas, Puerto Rico. Here you can see the water is so beautiful and clear. These people are here from the city of Patillas, about 20 minutes away from Salinas. ¿Le gusta aquí?
Yeah.
¿Qué le gusta más aquí de la bahía de Salinas?
La playa.
El sol.
Yeah.
¿Y usted es la primera vez aquí?
Sí, la primera vez.
¿Le gusta?
Sí, me encanta.
¿De dónde vienen? ¿De Patillas también?
Patillas.
En Patillas no hay playa, ¿verdad?
Sí, hay playa, pero...
Sí, hasta la costa. Oh, I'm forgetting my Puerto Rico towns here. ¿Y cómo le ha ido el viaje aquí hoy?
Muy bonito, muy bueno. Una experiencia bien bonita.
Bien, they say they are having a great time, and if we get up and go around here, we can go talk to our friend Juan who's driving the boat. This boat is unique. This boat pretty much symbolizes the town of Salinas. It's called La Paseadora, and they've been doing this for years. They have over 40 people on board. They're playing music, getting ready to go out there to Cayo Matias to have a great time. And let's go back here and talk to our friend Juan. Juan, how many more trips are you doing today?
Today I gotta do maybe three or four more because I gotta go and pick up everybody that I left back there. So now I be at the restaurant a couple of hours, work a little bit actually, and then come back to the enjoying part of the day.
Eat lunch, cook a little bit. I hear he's a great cook, huh?
We're gonna eat lunch because I'm gonna include you on the lunch. So
oh, he said it on camera. He's gonna give us lunch. What are we eating for lunch, or is it a surprise?
No, we're gonna eat, actually for lunch, we're gonna have some grouper tenders that are special. You eat fish?
Yeah,
what
I
about
love
these
fish.
guys? What about the Packers fan? The Packers fan eats fish?
Oh, it sounds like they talk a little bit behind the camera. He's saying our photojournalist, Tommy Vice, he's a Packers fan. And Tommy, do you eat fish? He eats fish, so we'll be good.
He eats fish, so everybody be good then.
Excellent. And do you sometimes have people on board singing and playing instruments?
Oh yeah, they play instruments in the boat. Right now I have them back there. I forgot to bring them, but people play the instrument here and stuff. They just have fun. This is just like a typical stuff. Of course, with that fish that I forgot, we gotta eat tostones. If you don't eat tostones here, that is made with the plantains, you haven't eaten in Salinas, because in Salinas is the best tostones all around Puerto Rico.
And I hear you can make like 20 different things out of plantains here, huh?
Oh yeah, man, you can do a lot of things out of plantain, but basically the most famous things out of plantain is tostones or mofongo.
They're delicious.
Those two
I
things
have.
are the ones that are primary what the people want to eat out of plantains.
And I hear you can dip the tostones into a special sauce that they make down here.
A special sauce with tomato sauce and some other things that is in there. You can tell them later when we record the sunset. You can tell them about lunch.
All right, so he's gonna continue on his voyage here on the base of Salinas. In the meantime, we're gonna go to a little bit here around the boat and show you some more stuff before we go to a commercial break. And as you can see on my head, I have a GoPro to get all the angles of this trip. And it looks like Juan wants to tell us something else.
Okay, in the back of you right now is the islands of Ponce. The ones in the shadow is called Coffin Island. It's a beautiful island. It's called Coffin Island.
Why?
Because you see, it looks like a coffin, like an old coffin. You see like the legs of the person and then the body up top. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
From this angle, you can appreciate why they call it Coffin Island.
So they lay like a dead body.
Like a dead body. You see the island right there. It's a reserve from the government.
Have you been out there?
Oh, I've been there many times. People go in the weekends, like they go to Cayo Matias, but that one is a little farther.
Where do you have to go to catch a boat over there?
from Ponce. You do it from Ponce. They have a ferry that goes every couple of days a week.
Ponce y lo demás es parking. That's the saying here, huh?
Leones.
Oye, aquí se le dicen los pescadores de Salinas, right?
Bueno, los peces voladores de Salinas son el equipo de béisbol de aquí, pero en realidad Salinas es la ciudad del mojo isleño.
The city of Mojo Isleño. We'll tell you later what Mojo Isleño means. But right now, let's go to a commercial break. When we come back, more of beautiful Puerto Rico, so stick around.
If you haven't forgotten, we mentioned Juan owns a restaurant. But it's more than that. When the sun goes down, he goes into the kitchen to prepare one of Puerto Rico's best-known dish, mofongo. That's coming up after the break.
Perf?
Perf.
Jesse, the mofongo is going to be perf.
Perf.
You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
If there's something everyone knows about Puerto Rico around the world, is its delicious food. Of course, we had to step into Juan's kitchen at Lottie's restaurant to try the island's most famous plates, mofongo.
Let's start with the tostones first because it takes long until we come back and make some plates here.
All right, so what are tostones?
Tostones are basically plantains that are cut. This is a peeled plantain. It looks like a banana. It's not. It's a plantain. And actually, we slice it and then we fry them. Actually here, for what we're gonna do, we got maybe too much. This is good. So basically we're gonna let them fry them here until we go and deal with the rest.
He starts the feast by making tostones. They are fried plantain slices, common in Latin America and of course in Puerto Rico.
Either tostones or mofongo. Mofongo is mashed. I'm gonna do a mofongo too. So we stuff the mofongo with some shrimps in the mojo sauce. Here we got the mojo sauce that is already made.
Oh my God, take a look at that. What's in there?
Take a look at this. Oh, it's many things, but especially it's onions, peppers. We got some leaves, we got some olives, we got some garlic, and some other touches that they've been around. That's why this sauce has been in this restaurant for more than 70 years. Since 1938, this restaurant has been here.
Well, what is one special thing in there that makes it unique for that many years?
It's the touch, man. I only been here 3 years, or 4 years actually. But this sauce, whoever teaches it to me the right way, so it's always the same. And it got a couple of things that basically I cannot say it because then everybody will know what I have in there. But it's more, basically what I told you is almost everything.
I do have to say it looks perfect and delicious.
From there, he'll go to make a delicious seafood dish that will accompany the mofongo.
Fish, you got shrimp, octopus, conch, lobster, and crab. This is a 7-power soup, it's called. And as soon as you taste this later on, you can tell.
7 power. Sounds like something we should be eating in Minnesota in the middle of winter when we have 10 feet of snow.
This will be a blast there. When it's minus 40, you guys will have a blast there. Now you can eat it here while it's hot, and maybe you don't want to enjoy it.
Juan also surprises us with another famous dish in Puerto Rico, like a soup called 7 Powers in Spanish, and fresh fish that will also sit alongside of the mofongo.
How's it going, Juan?
It's almost ready, man. I'm doing here the mofongo. As you see, it's a smashed plantain. It's almost ready. We're gonna leave it in there until we're gonna serve it so it doesn't get cold while we throw some tostones down to fry. Tostones is the key of the restaurant. If the tostones are not good, the people don't. These are all iron. You're watching right. You gotta start throwing it in there. Basically.
All right, so let's go ahead and start right here. We talked about the tostones, so we can probably skip that one, huh? What's right here?
This is the stuffed mofongo that is already perf.
Perf. You hear that, Jesse?
Then we got here the red snapper with the mojo sauce. We have here a grouper filet in the mojo sauce. This is typically how it's supposed to look. All that oily thing is where the flavor is of the mojo sauce that we make here. We got more tostones here, and we have the soup here. 7 potencias, 7 power. This is the last time you're gonna see these guys. As soon as they eat this, they're gonna go to bed. Today evening, they ain't doing no more.
We could probably share a basic recipe online so you can make something similar. Remember, it won't taste as good as this one because if he gives us a secret ingredient, then, you know,
Yeah,
can't
it's
do
always
that.
a little bit because the touch of the restaurant, you know, is what it makes us unique. But you always can come and try it. It's a long trip from Minnesota, but you still can come and try it.
So,
One day maybe Jesse comes down.
Yeah, go ahead, Jesse. Come down here and make something like that. That's the challenge. Can we gotta try something on camera to make Jesse jealous.
Oh man, try those. You have to. Let me hold the microphone for you.
Hold the mic.
So
How
you
do
can
I
try
get it?
whatever. You can try a shrimp. That is the easiest way to try it from there. You know what I'm saying? Try it.
Here we go, Jesse.
What do you think about it?
He's gonna interview me now. This is delicious. You gotta come down here and try this stuff. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man.
I'm gonna get a napkin too so I can shake Juan's hand. Thank you so much for having us
You're
here.
welcome, man.
Gracias.
Here anytime.
With our bellies full, we now make our way to an Olympic museum located on the north side of Salinas.
The Albergue Olímpico has education, has training facilities, has health facilities, okay, has museum facility with library.
That and more when we return.
You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
Salinas is just one of 77 towns in the island, but has a few things that make it unique.
Salinas se distingue por ser un pueblo no tan solo costero, sino también tenemos atractivos en la zona de la montaña y también tenemos una parte histórica que es sumamente importante. Así es que en ese sentido nosotros estamos enmarcando nuestro plan turístico y de desarrollo económico.
We found a whole encyclopedia where the island's sports history is kept alive. We arrive in Salinas athletic complex that provides athletes from the island and around the world the tools to train in different sports.
The IOC Center in Olympia, in Greece, don't have, for example, a training facility, just educate facility. The Albergue Olímpico has education, has training facilities, has health facilities, okay, has museum facility with library, with documentation center. So it's a all dynamics in one place.
Founded in 1987, a museum in the athletic complex houses the history of Puerto Rico's involvement in the Olympics.
The people of Olympic Committee say we need to develop another map of the world. And in this process, sport map. In this process, the possession, the territories beginning with another teams. So Puerto Rico really, we are a good beginning in 1948, but for example, Philippines beginning in 1924. Like a part Olympic Committee of US. Today, the US has 5 Olympic committees that are not part of US.
Felix also talks about how the sports movement can have an impact in relationships between countries.
Russia, the Winter Games, for the homosexual expression and love anti-homosexual in Russia, but they don't take the US go to Russia and participate because USA learned that if you don't go to Russia without the difference of love, of ideas, Russia cannot go to US. That's the most important learning in the 80s. So this learning is part of the heritage of the Greece, because if you are Greece, you are tolerant of every people that are in your community, right?
Make sure to tune in to our full 30-minute special coming soon to UTVS about the museum, because there's a lot more to learn.
It's a
saliste del trabajo un poco estrésico, porque mis clases empiezan a las 6:30 de la tarde. O sea, que tú sales del trabajo a las 5 muchas veces. Yo tengo mucha gente que viene directamente del trabajo hacia las clases.
Don't go anywhere and get ready for some salsa dancing, because we stop at Salsa Club to learn a few steps from Juan Santos.
You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
It is downtown Salinas where many come searching for what they know has a medicine to help release stress after a long day at work.
Mientras tú estás bailando, tú estás segregando mucha serotonina y tú estás feliz.
Juan isn't a doctor, but he knows how to use Puerto Rico's own genre, salsa, to cure those negative feelings that you may have.
Alegre y quizás saliste del trabajo un poco estrésico.
And at the same time preserve the genre that has faded away a little due to newly born genres like reggaeton.
Era un género naciendo en ese momento e impactó a toda la generación de nosotros, y eso es lo que se escuchaba reggaetón.
But it was his passion for the salsa that motivated him to start a project to keep the rhythm alive in all.
Pero yo pienso que fue el baile quien fue que me hizo dirigirme hacia el género de la salsa. El baile como tal. La música rica, pero fue el baile como tal.
His passion has become very contagious, and this kid knows salsa is more than a few choreographed steps to the rhythm of salsa.
Bailando salsa hoy porque claro, es la clase, pero mi motivación de bailar salsa es, a mí me gusta bailar salsa, me ha gustado el baile.
Juan hopes to keep spreading the passion in the island and one day take his skills overseas.
Y yo creo que es una de las metas llegar a Estados Unidos. Soy de aquí como el coquí, de aquí no me saca nadie aunque me gane $1 millón allá.
During our stay in Salinas, we visited the City Hall where the administration was celebrating 173 years of history.
Hoy celebramos la fundación de nuestro pueblo, 22 de julio.
We spoke with Hector Martinez Colin, a local history professor whose passion is to share history with all. Salinas is known for its extraction of salt from its coasts, and Salinas' name was born after this commercial activity.
Una pepita chiquita, una semilla que trajeron de otro sitio. Ves que cada casa, cada lugar tiene su historia en particular. Aquí vivía un doctor, aquí un...
Though he knows his history inside and out, there are still a few pieces of information that have yet to be confirmed.
En las investigaciones que yo he hecho, yo he notado que las iglesias católicas están construidas todas de frente hacia el oeste. Bien, el debate que existe, que me trajeron el otro día, es el por qué. Yo hasta ahora digo, deja tu dirección porque estoy en el de investigar, o es por las luces o es espiritualmente.